Hi, everybody. Happy almost Valentine's Day. I am so happy to see you. I'm going to apologize ahead of time. I feel like I've got a cold and I'm feeling a little puny today, so I'm not going to be the sharpest knife in the block. But I got down here 2 hours ago, and you would think, oh, well, she'll be early. She'll be ahead of time. But that can sometimes work against me because then I get so focused in on what I'm trying to do that then I lose track of time. But happy Valentine's Day. I'm going to get my glasses on so I can see all who's here. And I just want to go crawl back into bed. You know how you feel when you're either getting a cold or allergies are bothering you and you just feel puny and it's like your head's 2 times too big. And so, but I'm going to pull it together because I don't think I'm really sick. I think I'm just feeling just a little tired. Well, I've been blowing my nose all day, but I told Mark, how would I get a cold? So, you always have to worry nowadays. Thank goodness I've been fully vaccinated because they say if you feel like you're getting a cold, it could be COVID. So, hey, that's a good one. So now I have to isolate myself. Oh, what a shame. I was going to do that errand. Oh, no, I have to stay home. But anyway, not to make light of COVID, that's for sure. Has anybody on here gotten hooked in to Wordle? Because boy, am I loving Wordle. And sometimes it makes me frustrated, but I still get excited about it. All right. And all right, there you go. I lost my first game the other day. I was too tired, and I found a link for the past Wordle games. So since I was late to finding, the game Wordle, I have been going back and playing all the old games. So, Melissa Lamb, hi, hon. Yeah, I know, because if you've been anywhere near it, it's real easy to get caught. So, Teresa Jukovic, there's Cass. Hi. Linda McCollum is back with us. Oh, this is great. Well, I'm going to go. Let me scroll back and see who's here. I'm so happy for you to see everyone. Charlene Piper. Hi, sweetie. I got your pictures. Jody's here. It's snowing. We got 3.5 flakes. But, yesterday was 65 degrees. So, any snow that was going to happen wasn't going to stick. But, it's so good to see all of you. Okay. I hope you could see my note saying, I'll be right there. Betty Middleton. I got a new picture from her, too. Hi, Debbie. Your thread painting with silky filane thread, and it keeps breaking. Silky. Sulky. Oh, the sulky filane. It keeps breaking. Okay, make sure that you're using a top stitch thread, maybe about a size 16. If your needle makes a big enough hole in the fabric, then the thread is not having to push so hard through that fabric. Try a top stitch 16. Try reducing your top tension a little. Go very slowly. I have not actually stitched with the filane thread, so I'm not. Has anyone else here stitched with that? It's this wonderful thread that Sulky puts out, and you can take a stiff toothbrush or a metal brush and brush it after you've finished sewing with it, and you fill in an area and you carefully brush it, and the fabrics will bloom like fur. So, Oh my gosh, so you had the warm yesterday and now the cold again. But I'll have to try to test it. Has anyone here used that filing thread that could help Debbie? If not, Debbie, I will try sewing some with mine and see if I can figure out how I can make it. And I want to apologize. I have yet to take off this nasty nail polish. I think about it and then move on, and I haven't taken it off. And that's ridiculous to have nasty, all chipped nail polish. So I apologize for not taking better care of my nails. Oh, good, Jody. You told her about the top stitch needle. I'm a huge fan of top stitch needles. Um, oh, well, Cass, we're so happy to have you there, hon. And you know what? We're a pretty darn nice group. Sonia's here. Teresa Jukovic, Kathy Klein. Hi, hon. Oh, it's so good to see all of you. This is wonderful. Oh, yeah, I don't know about the silky. I think she meant sulky as the maker of the filing thread because I'm not sure about the silky, but it sounds nice. Um, you used the 12 weight and had trouble with the thread breaking, thought about using a jeans needle. Also, make sure that your bobbin thread is not too strong, not too thick. You may have to use a thinner bobbin thread to kind of be gentle on the filing. And Melissa, oh, there's Patty Kuchera. The last couple days, ever since she gave me the hint, I've been getting out in the sunshine, so that feels good. All right. Oh, so good to see Linda McCollum. We missed her. So anyway. Okay, I thought Debbie meant sulky. Okay, so it's the filing thread. And I would say, too, slow down your stitching. There are certain threads you cannot stitch too fast. Go to the Sulky website and see if there is a frequently asked questions section, because if you're having trouble, someone else has had trouble, and they've probably asked about it, they might be able to give you some good suggestions, okay? And I wanted to show y'all a few years ago, we did a little thing on making fun pins to wear. And of course, this is a wee bit big, but and I put all kinds of decorations and sequins and lace and yarns on it. And so with tomorrow being Valentine's Day, I thought I would wear it for y'all. All right, there's Miss Carol. Hi, hon. I popped in on your YouTube yesterday. That was great. Boy, you were talking about how that you're doing a Saturday and a Sunday, and somebody else is doing a Sunday and Monday. So your hand embroidery people really make a positive statement on YouTube for the fans, so they can pick y'all up just about any time. I thought that was amazing. I thought Carol is devoted. So way to go. Okay, we got some good pictures in this week, and I'm trying something a little different here. And let me see. I set up our design wall. And, I just wanted to mention this design wall again. It's just an inexpensive clothes hanger. Ouch! I grabbed it in the wrong place. It's an inexpensive, clothes rack that you would put somewhere, like in your laundry room, to hang things on as they come out of the dryer. Man, that did hurt. I don't know what in the world I grabbed, but it was not good. Be careful when you grab stuff like that. That hurts. But anyway, I thought today I'm going to put everything on here that has to do with today, anything I'm going to talk about. So here is Miss Bonnie sent this to me a year and a half ago, and I still love it. And with its beautiful red heart, I thought it worked well. I've got a little bling for Valentine's Day in the pink flamingo lights. This This is the mandala that I painted a few weeks ago, and it's here because I have a new one in the works, and I'm very excited. Hi, Polly, and I'm very excited about this. This is the heart quilt that I started last week and have now finished. And down here, I want to show you some progress on my Alex Anderson. And here is a blast from the past. Whoops, let me put this here. This is a blast from the past. I made this at least 20 years ago in my very first quilt guild. And it was called Quilters by the Bay, and it was in Leonardtown, Maryland. And so here is this sweet little thing. In this quilt guild, they would have little projects, and you could make a little project, and they would give you the little pattern and instructions for it. And so I actually did this, and I love that rose swag. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? I should look at my, wow. I have come a distance in my hand applique. And then see the heart in the center with the word love. And what this person who led this little seminar, what she did is said, take beads and decorate your quilt with them. So I used them to spell the word love. I put them, the bugle bead versions, around the heart. And look, I did some machine embroidery scallops around. That is so sweet. It's fun to pull something out you did so long ago because it's like discovering it all over again. But this beading that I did around the edge, I had a beading needle and beading thread and just would just tuck in. And when I tucked in, you make an entire loop so it doesn't slide, because otherwise your beads and thread could kind of slide. So you do an entire loop, then load up your beads, then do another loop, then load up your beads, do another loop. And so it takes a while. It makes it a little, look, see how the edge flops over? It makes it a little heavy, but I love that. So this was something I made probably 25 years ago. Isn't that sweet? Thank you to whoever the teacher was that taught us this. Oh my gosh, I'm looking at the fabrics. Fabrics have changed in 25 years. Look at, they're a little more coarse, less refined. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? So we've come a long way, and we have a lot of people to thank for these our new quality fabrics. I think it's a very sweet floral pattern. But this was back in the days. Oh my gosh, it's kind of neat. You can, it's a definitely a more coarse. Hi, Alberta, definitely more coarse fabric. So let me put this back up. And, whoops, put this back up. That was a nice blast from the past. And then here is the quilt that I worked on. Here's the quilt I worked on last week. It's all finished. All finished. And I'll show you the back, the quilting, because what I did is I stitched around each block to make sure they stayed on, and then I quilted it, echo quilting around the outside, and quilted in between the lines on the front to give it a little depth. And here it is. Oh, there is one thing I want to tell you, And I do remember doing it, and I think I did it on camera. If you're using any kind of chalk, any colored material, and I know better about this than to do this, but don't iron it. Don't iron the fabric when you have any colored chalk, pencil, whatever on the fabric, because the heat sets the color. So I'm having a little bit of trouble getting out the yellow chalk lines, and it's my own fault. I've gotten half of it out by just using a wet rag and rubbing it. But I never want to do something on this channel that could cause you trouble. So anything you're using, any kind of marking thing, be aware that using an iron, unless it's the friction pins, using an iron is going to help set that color. But the good thing is you don't see it once you move away a little bit. And I love this little thing. Mark said, I love that it's a little bit wonky. I said, yeah, I thought that made it kind of cuter. And so this was a lot of fun. Now, what I did, I appreciate whoever had the image on Pinterest, but I didn't have a pattern. I couldn't find a pattern for it. I just saw a cute image. So I kind of did it myself, and it's slightly different than the original that I saw. But let me get something here. Okay. To make it easier on y'all, I went ahead and made a pattern of it. Okay. And then I took this pattern, scanned it into the computer, put it on our website. Okay. Now, if you aren't a member of our group's IO, then hi, Barbara. And so then all you have to do to get a free pattern of this, Our Time to Quilt at, whoops, I need my glasses. Who am I fooling? At bwc.com. Oh, thank you, Miss Carol. Gosh, that was sweet. So, we had a Jitsi yesterday, so Susan is probably trying to catch up on everything she needs to do. But I just wanted to tell you that you can get that free pattern to make this. And it is an easy, easy, easy thing to make. I took strips of the different fabrics, and I put fusible Steam-A-Seam too. I like because you can kind of mess with it, put it on, take it off. It's sticky, but once you iron it down, it's there. So it's really, really easy. And then once I made the pattern, you can actually make a copy of this pattern, cut out each of these shapes, and put that shape, make that shape in the fabric, and then just assemble it. So hopefully this will make it a little easier. I put it on a white background and then stitch, just went around the shapes. Instead of going around each shape separately, let me tell you what I did. Because, I'm always looking to make it an easier, quicker process. So what I did is I would stitch along the edge all the way down, turn around, and go all the way back up. Then I would go, after I'm done all the verticals, then I'd come horizontally and stitch the edge and then go back. So it makes it a lot easier than trying to sew each rectangle at a time. So, all right. So that's this baby. And now let me put this back up here. I love these pink flamingo lights. They are so cute. All right. Now, there is another one. Let me see if I can give you the address. If you would like a log cabin heart pattern, then I want you to get a pen and paper out. Okay. And I'll carefully show this to you. The log cabin heart. And Whoops, back over this way. Whoops, let me have my arm sit down. And that says sewhooked.com. Free patterns, but you cannot resell it or manufacture, but you can use it all you want. And here is the website information. Whoops, I need it to focus. Sorry, camera. Try it again. Come on, camera. Hold on. And let me wipe off my lens a little. I think I've got some. Okay. All right. Come on, camera. You can do it. There. And you just know, if you haven't written the information down yet, all you have to do is wait for the repeat, back it up, and you'll see it. But this is a paper piece pattern. How easy is that? And the second page has the paper piece pattern. If you've ever wondered, what is this little thing over here that says 1 inch? What that means is when you print this page out, get a ruler and measure and make sure that it's truly 1 inch. If it's not 1 inch, it means that your printer is not printing to actual size. Have you ever seen when you're going to print something, it'll say fit to page? Take that off. You don't want to do that with quilting patterns. When you reprint a pattern, make sure you've got it clicked to actual size. That's what that little 1 inch block is for. Okay? But as many blocks as you want to make, print out that many pages, and you just do your paper piecing right on the page. So I always try to look for fun little things for you. This was a lovely one. And Jennifer Offenstein, and from sewhooked.com. Thank you, Jennifer. Lovely, lovely. Quilters are the most generous people. All right. Now, I've got a project for today. I'll show you in just a minute. So today, I put this out here. Whoops. I put this out here to show you. This is the painted mandala that I made, oh gosh, last month in January, maybe end of December to January. I had such fun. And I need to write the gentleman crafter and thank him for the free pattern and being able to allow me. Oh, thank you, Carol. And Carol Sharp, being able to allow our group to use any of his free mandala patterns. That's gentlemancrafter.com. Lovely gentleman. I need to make sure I send him a picture of this. I haven't done it yet because I need to quilt the outside, the outer edge. I've already quilted the inside because to make the paint sharper, keep them in line, make the whole print sharper, you'd first have to quilt the design, okay? This was just white fabric and I quilted it. But now I need to go and quilt around here. And I'm kind of curious how it's going to quilt on the paint, because this paint is a little stiff, which I don't mind because I'm not going to be using it for anything. But I loved this so much that I've now found something new, and I need to scan this pattern in. I made this pattern, and when I say I made it, don't get excited. I went into my EQ8 and I pulled up a Dahlia block. Oh, and let me make sure you haven't asked any questions. Tide spot remover pen. Thank you. Oh my gosh, y'all give me the best information. Thank you. Okay. I want to make sure I hadn't missed anything. Gosh, thank you, Carol and Linda, for being my moderators today. Y'all are so good. So, okay. Thank you. Oh, look at Carol already put up Gentleman Crafter. Thank you, Carol. If you ever need a moderator when you're doing yours, send me a message or an email, and I'll get back with you. So I made a giant dahlia pattern, and I edited out where you would take and piece it together. But I made this 24 inches in diameter. And I thought, if I'm going to paint this again, I want it to show. Well, guess what all these curved wedges are going to have in them? Hi, Kim. Wait till you see. Kim sent some great pictures. They did Mary May's mystery quilt. And I can't wait to show you. Her friends all made the mystery quilt. Do you see this? Each one of these wedges on here has a feather frond. So, but I will scan both of these in, and they're free to you, and you don't have to worry about copyright or anything because I did it on EQ, so that's all good. But here is what I ended up with. Let me pull this off. But I loved that painting. I loved using those metallic paints so much that I said, I want to do another one. So this one I said, I'm going to do it big and proud, loud and proud. And so here it is. Yesterday when we were doing the Jitsi, Patricia from Nova Scotia kept me company, and I took a light box and drew in all the fronds. And this is, I think I'm thinking about doing a rainbow and doing like 3 shades of light, medium, dark of all the rainbow colors. So that's going to be a lot to organize, but I'm going to do it. So you are welcome. Yes. Yeah. I mean, you can only do so many projects. I do understand, but I just thought I would, you let me be the guinea pig if you want, see how it goes. But I drew the pattern, and then I ironed some interfacing, fusible interfacing on the back to give it some body. And now I've got to put batting, and I'm going to use a nice high loft polyester because I want it to really pop. And hi, Michelle. And then I think I was talking to Susan yesterday, and she said, put it on the long arm. Because I was thinking, should I do it on the domestic? And I think it's too many curves to do on a domestic. I'm not good at quilting anything on the domestic. I would rather move the long arm like this than to try to maneuver this under the domestic. So I'll be working on that this week, because the sooner I get it all quilted, the sooner I can start painting. And that's fun because I can paint at night in the recliner, whatever, anywhere I want. So anywhere I can take the paints. So this is something I'm doing just for me and inviting y'all along on the journey. So now, okay. I tell you what, I ended up getting the deal of all deals on my long arm. And it was the deal of all deals. I got a 16-inch, it's an early Janome stretch by a company called New Joy out in Arizona. They were the first ones to start making home machine, longer arm machines for quilters, for home quilters. Because that's back when it's even before you could get the big Gamels for $35,000 and all this. And they thought, we can do this. And so it's a 16-inch machine, which is really technically not long arm. And the frame, oh, it's the second generation frame they made called the Magic Frame. It's a wonderful frame. I love it. And I got that used from a woman who couldn't get the tension fixed and was fed up. I got it for $1,800, $1,800. And I ended up finding that the whole tension problem, because I took it in to be repaired, she had sent it in to be repaired, nobody caught it. Inside the tension disc, the little parts were turned wrong. And it's supposed to have like a little ratcheted, so you can ratchet the tension. Well, one of those was turned backwards. So what it meant is you could start out and the tension's fine. The longer you sewed, the more the tension got messed up because it didn't have the ratchet to hold it in place. So once I figured that out, and I figured it out on my own, surprise, I took it apart and just said, I've got to be able to figure out something. And so I ordered a brand new tension disc, which those can run a little higher. But until I got the new one in, I saw where, ratchet thing's got to be turned around the other side. So anyway, that's been wonderful for me. And that way I don't have to feel like I have to spend a lot of money. If I were to spend a lot of money on a system, then I'd have to do it for people to help pay back that system. But luckily prices have come down on those things so much. The more that gets sold, the faster the prices come down. All right. So now before we move to today's project, I'm going to show you, I actually worked on some of my Alex Anderson hand embroidery. Hi, Laura Leitner. So nice to see you. That's a new name for us. Now, if you notice, if you're sharp-eyed, and that's okay because I'm bringing it up myself, but if you want to be a pariah in a group, point out someone's mistakes. But since I bring it up myself, you can talk about it. But if you'll notice, not everything's perfectly round. There are some odd edges and all of that. It has been years since I did hand embroidery, over 20 at least. And boy, you get a little rusty. So this thing is, it's taking me a while because I have so many irons in the fire. But it's very, very good practice. And I'm learning stitches I never knew about. I want to thank Alex Anderson and the Quilt Show. I think she's done almost 20 episodes showing you one technique a week. It's wonderful. Oh, Melissa's got to go. Oh, take care, sweetie. Thank you for dropping in on us, Melissa. And Melissa, I hope you belong to our group. But if not, send me an email and I'll make sure you get invited. There's Middlin or Mitty. How are you, hon? There's our Mary. We just love our Mary. So anyway, I just want to show you, I'm proud of myself for doing it, for saying I'm not too old and stodgy to try something. And to try something that I'm not very good at and have to learn. It's easy to do things that you know go smoothly and you're good at. But anyway, I think I'm going to really like this. It's on my own design, and I did not use the silk. Oops, the needles stuck in it. I did not use the silk. I wanted the look, but I wasn't going to pay the price. I'm on a budget. So this is from the fabric wholesale or fabric warehouse, and it is a polyester dupioni for $4.99 a yard. So that was my price, but it gives a lot of the look, but much less expensive. And these, I had to try to cobble together some colors because it was around Christmas time, and most of the pretty colors had been sold for holiday wear. So I'm liking it. And I ended up getting the colors of pearl cotton to emulate what's in the fabric so it pulls it together. So I'm happy about that. All righty. Oh, and while I'm thinking and talking, let me turn on the fan. I am getting a little warm, and once I start getting warm, it usually doesn't get better on its own, and I have a hard time thinking if I'm too warm. So, I was going to tell you that one of the things, this is the most recent class I took at the Myrtle Beach Quilt Party, and I am excited to finish this, but it was a lot of practice on doing curved piecing. And I am going to work on it this week because I'm anxious to go ahead and get it done, because when I put it on the quilt frame, and it has large areas to quilt, and I can't wait to make it shine. So, but I showed y'all how to do some curved piecing. Well, then what comes in the mail but the McCall's Quilting Magazine? And look what one of the headlines is. Learning Curves. So, now I have a curved masterfoot somewhere, but I need to find it. But that can work really well. But anyway, where are the pages aren't in there. Okay. I just wanted to show you that it is the March-April version of the McCall's quilting. All right. And in it, they have this amazing quilt. This woman, I think she called it something confetti, streamers and confetti. Cool quilt. But someone took the time to do an article on, where is the title of it? Hold on. I should have it all. But it's Learning Curves, okay? And they show the one, this is the first page, they show the one I taught you a couple weeks ago. But the exciting thing, I never thought of placing the curve on a really bold fabric and creating a kaleidoscope effect with your 4 pieces. Then they show a way where you take that curved piece and you sew it up against fusible interfacing. Then you can turn it inside out. You would put the right side, the pretty side of the fabric, against the fusible side of the interfacing, stitch around that curve, turn it inside out. Then you have to finger press the edges. Do not pull your iron to get it, because I would then take a bone folder and carefully turn it inside out and use this to make those edges crisp as you can. Then put it on the table and carefully with your fingers try to get it as flat as possible. Then what you do, put that on the square right where it's supposed to be and iron it. And you've ironed on that curve. How easy is that? If you had something with a lot of curves, that sounds like a great idea. Then what you would do after you iron it to your square, you would take and stitch it right close to the curved edge, top stitch it. So easy, easy, easy. So I'm going to show you that. Then it has here, you can cut a piece of biased fabric. Okay, here is the length grain line, here is the horizontal grain line, and the bias is right in the middle. So if you had a square fabric, if you start cutting it in strips diagonally, then you get the bias. And you need bias trim for this. But next week, we're going to dive in really big with this. Look at what they did. They stitched on a strip of bias, then folded it over and pinned it, then stitched it down, and then put it on the square and stitched it in place. Isn't that cool? So you could do a quilt, that curved pattern, and put a really cool fabric on there that looks like a piping or edging to really stand out. Now, then they have another method. This McCall's magazine is worth getting, let me tell you. And in this case, you take a square of this floral fabric. Then you take a square of the contrast fabric, which is blue. You fold it in half, wrong sides together, and press it. Then you stitch along this edge and that edge, just the outer two edges. And then once you do that, then you roll back this edge and then stitch that in place, and it'll come out, and you're going to stitch twice. You're going to stitch once right along the flowered edge and inside just a little bit, so that that part you folded over will lay nice and flat. This is kind of a method that reminds me of the cathedral windows if you wanted to do a pretend cathedral windows. So isn't that a cool way to do that? Now, there's one more method, and I probably won't be doing this much because it's a big fabric waster. If you want a very colorful, scrappy-looking quilt, then you could do this and not waste much fabric. What you do is you take two different squares, two contrasting squares, put them on top of each other, and then cut freehand, curvy little curves, okay? And then where you've cut, you take a piece from this and a piece from that. Oh, I see we have an intruder. Oh, man, that's great. Uh-oh. Yeah, Carol, you're so fast. So, but you take, and I don't know, we've been getting these. It's really frustrating. But anyway, but the problem I would have with this one, I would like to get some freehand curves. The problem I have with this one is I wouldn't want to have this block and this block in the same quilt. I would like to do that method and kind of have a quilt of planets, but I'd want the same background. But if you want to do a really fun quilt and have positive and negative blocks, this would be perfect. But you can put the two blocks together, do your freehand curvy cut, and then as long as you take one of one color and put it with another color, you get something really neat. The one thing they did say, though, is if you're going to do this, and they use a 28 millimeter rotary blade because you can get sharper curves, and I have one of those. I have yet to use it, but I bought it. I love getting the latest, greatest tool, but I don't always use it. And I have two of them. I have this one, tiny little blade, and then this one. This one's cool. This is a Fiskars, and it fits on your fingers so that it kind of becomes part of your hand. But those are the 28. And if you're going to, like I say, I've hardly used them. And so you kind of got to judge. I think now that I'm getting older, I think more before I just buy something, because I realize you're spending money for it to sit in a nice container. So, but this is where it would be perfect to use for this. So next week, if you want to practice along with me, then I can put the patterns on our website. Next week, we're going to look into how to make curves, because there's lots of ways. Okay? So that'll be for next week. Just want to put a little plug in there. Also, for our Thursday night, Thursday Art Quilt Thursdays, I'm kind of thinking I want to talk to my hard and fast Thursday night ladies, but I'm kind of thinking of trying to do an improv quilt. That scares me a little because I'm not used to just winging it. I have to have a pattern or whatever. But be thinking about it and tell me, um, oh, the hand embroidered dictionary. That is wonderful. Yeah, I've been watching YouTube videos on it, but boy, the book that Alex Anderson was recommending, and you know, there's just embroidery is so different from when I tried it before. And it's like whatever you can imagine, there's a way to do it. So it's really cool. All right. No, you're never late, Miss Marsha. We're happy to see you. So, last night, Mark and I worked together, and it's been 2 years since I made it. But we made, hi, Alexis. And I have Alexis's new work to show you too. So I got my great big stainless steel pot, and I had been watching and watching and watching, and finally some seafood came on sale. So Mark and I worked together and made a big, huge pot of seafood chowder. And I have to tell you, it was wonderful. You never know how it's going to turn out. Although seafood is so expensive, you try to work extra hard to make sure it turned out. I made a roux. I was so proud of myself because I don't cook as much as I used to. It's kind of like I've got quilting to do. Cooking takes time away from quilting. But I made a roux, and I put all kinds of good stuff, chopped just right, and it was wonderful. Mark's still talking about it, and he's picky. I was used to being a good cook, and when I met him, he wasn't impressed by my family style cooking. So it's hard to get compliments out of him, but boy, he was talking about that. And in fact, after I let it cool, he said, you wanted me to help you put that chowder? Because what I did is I put it in containers and put it in the freezer. And we ended up that we ate the dinner last night, and we were able to put away 3 more dinners and 1 big lunch out of that pot. So when I was sitting there adding up, the price of the flounder, some tilapia, the 2 pounds of shrimp, the pound of scallops, 3 cans of clams. So I was like, ooh, this is not cheap. But then when you figure it went 4 meals, then it's like, oh, okay, that's good. That's good. So we're so excited. Oh, now how do you do all of this, Carol? My gosh, she does 2 shows a weekend, plus she just helps. I'm so impressed. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. It means a lot. All right, so don't forget, I have this free heart pattern I'll share with you, and I will share my very next hand painting pattern with you, and just be prepared. Get a good window or a cheap light box. Be prepared to spend a few hours drawing your pattern down. This is not holding up. Okay, come on. All right. So, there we go. I know you can't see it all that well. All right. Today's project. Because I love finding stuff like this. And starting next week, next Sunday, we're going to be looking towards spring. Because I don't know about you, but I can't wait for spring. And I'm thinking something with tulips. We'll just see. Let's see where we go. All right. So, you emailed your heart. Oh, I'll have to check, sweetie. Oh, I'll have to check that out. So, all right. Let me see. She got me curious now. And Monica asked for a pattern. I'm definitely going to send it to her. And let me go to my box. But I love sharing patterns. So any that I can do, I don't know. Maybe, I'm not, if I don't see it, Mary, if I don't see it or haven't already saved it, I will make sure I do it again. I'm so glad you love this group, hon. We're happy to have you. She's a happy thing, and I love that energy. I feed off of your energy, and your energy does come right through. So, okay. So what I looked at for this pattern was a couple things. This was, I think, the Janome embroidery site, but see this cute thing. This was copyrighted 2007 by Jane Spolar, and oh my gosh, how cute. Now this is a more involved pattern, and this is just a close-up because I was trying to think of how big I wanted to make it. But I think I'm going to keep it small for right now. So let me bring the camera over here and the lamp over here. And let me see. I have another light up here that I was using to help highlight our design wall. But what I've done with this is I've just starched a piece of white. This is another one of the tone on tones, and it's nice bubble. Okay. Then, I'm not going to do that yet. So then what I did is I took a piece of the Steam-A-Seam 2, and let me bring you down a little bit into here. If you have any questions that you want to ask me to get my attention, feel free to write in all caps, because what that means is I can glance over at the computer and I'll see the caps get my attention. All right, so I drew these and cut these out roughly, and now I just realized that to get if you want to get the right image, I always forget to do this. It's just so frustrating for me to realize. But, okay, I took and put the Steam-A-Seam on top of this and put the light on. I know, too bright. And then I put the sheet of Steam-A-Seam on top of this and drew the pattern things. But the problem is when you cut these and get ready to assemble them, it'll be backwards from what you like. So what I should have done is turned this over. Then when I turn the light on, see how you can see it through that side? And then I should have put the Steam-A-Seam on top of that. Now, if you do that and it's not quite bright enough, then get yourself out one of your markers and come in and trace the lines and see how much brighter that is than the others. But please remember, I was in a hurry and I wasn't thinking that if you do it this way, then your final design is going to be the opposite. So when you want to do a Steam-A-Seam 2, you have to turn this over. Then, because the Steam-A-Seam 2 goes on the back of the fabric, and you want it to line up correctly. So what I'm doing now is I have this. Oh, Cheryl, hi, sweetie. Okay, Super Bowl night, that's right. Well, have a great day, Cheryl, and thank you for stopping in. You're such a doll, baby. Thank you. Diane57 is here. Oh, it's so good to see her, too. Gosh, I love seeing all of y'all, and I try to make sure that I know who's here. Boy, this is having a hard time showing through. So, with this, the problem with the tone-on-tone fabric is, oh, you're right, Cheryl. Mark was born in Ontario. in Windsor, Ontario, and he was showing me how that it's actually south of Detroit. And we don't realize how much Canada dips down in that area. All right, so I turned off the light. And I will keep this, I will stand this up right here. And I'm just going to piece it as I see it. What I did is I picked out some colors. And I'm assuming that I just picked out what I think I will need. Okay? Go Bengals, that's cute. I mean, you got to be excited for a team that's never been there yet, right? I love underdogs. In fact, did you see the downhill skier, the man who was 40 years old and thought he's lost his chance to win a medal, and then he did the mixed doubles, and with his mixed doubles partner, he was able to win a medal, and a gold medal, I think. And so he was just so cute. I love rooting for underdogs, especially when you can tell it means so much to them. All right, so now, and you know what I just realized? With Steam-A-Seam 2, I don't think you have to be quite as worried about having it mirrored image, that problem, because you can decide which side of the paper to take off. You see? Uh-oh, I like the Go Bengals, Mary. Oh, well. Because you know what? It doesn't matter who wins. We're just all having a good time with it. All right. Let me get my fan going here. All right, so what I'm going to do, this is a double heart. So, and did I will make sure I give you the, I will make sure that I give you, when we go to look at pictures, I'm going to give you the email address to get this, or the URL or whatever they call it. So I see how I did A and A, because one heart is going to go right on top of the other one. And there we go. Let's see. I'm making this heart just a little bit bigger, because I kind of wish I had enlarged this pattern. I think it says enlarged 200%, which is double it, but anyway. Okay. But you can take and do a little bit of that just by what size you cut out the hearts. So now I've got this. Now, if this is the top, then to get this to work right so it will lay like this, then I've got to take off the paper on this side. This is where a double, yeah. And see, sometimes you get lucky, and there, the sticky is now here, which is just what I wanted. And what I'm going to do, since this is the background heart, I'm going to use this color, and I have to iron this on the back of this. Okay. Now, then I'm going to take, to me, this is so much fun. I could do stuff like this all day. I used to love art, especially, well, every year, because anything that was like making good crafting is just amazing. All right. And it's going to give a lot of joy. I'm thinking of actually turning this one into a little pillow, because I have now, numerous wall hangings. Oh, so while I'm cutting this out, I hope I'll tell you a little bit about yesterday. Yesterday, I came down here, did the Jitsi, drew all the little fronds on my fabric that I'm going to use to paint. Okay, so now what I need to do is make sure this is stuck. Nope, I have to iron it. That transfers the sticky from the paper to this fabric. I'll let it cool a little bit to make sure it has made the transfer over, and there. So now the transfer is over. All right. This heart goes here. So I'm going to go ahead and take, and this is what I love about Steamosine 2 or any of the two-sided fusibles. Now this goes right inside there. And see, the original pattern for this was, thank you. The original pattern for this was for machine embroidery. Well, I don't machine embroider. So what in the world do I do? Now, do I want this? Maybe I want, well, that's not quite enough. I might do this, okay? So, again, I have to take off the top paper so that it will work, because otherwise I would have to reverse it. So now, some people say there's no right or wrong side to batiks, but I disagree. The batiks are stamped from a certain side. So what you decide is take a design like this. Look on this side, then look on that side. Ooh, it's more intense. It's sharper here. So I'm going to say, this is the pretty side. So I have to come to this side to put the heart on. Okay, then let me iron that. And I love seeing you chat. Here's a question. What is the difference from using washable glue stick versus the iron-on interfacing? You can easily use a washable glue stick. And let me tell you something. It's probably cheaper and it's faster. Because what I have found is none of the fusibles hold good enough. They're just a temporary hold. And you still have to sew them on, and they're kind of tricky to sew through because your needle will get all gummed up. And yes, I have used the needles that work better on it. They're specially coated, so they're not supposed to be gummed up, but they get a little bit gummed up. Does that make sense? So you don't have to stop and clean them off quite as frequently, but I'm a huge fan of a glue stick. So, okay, so then I just place this on like that. So isn't that cute? That is so cute. I am getting tired of these Northern European messages. Stop it. Yeah, cheap is a good thing. Let me tell you, I agree. So now another thing. I kind of did a rough cut of these. I don't have to cut it out perfectly first. As long as you have that little bit extra fabric, you don't have to. Okay. Ooh, that would be beautiful for this one. So again, I have to peel off the front. Yeah, so make sure the sticky is here. And then I'm going to put it down here. I think it's the best use of the fabric. All right. And then iron it on. All right. Oops. Oh, boy. I just realized when you peel off the paper that tells you where to cut it. So guess what? I'm going to wing this one. I can figure this out. Okay. I can wing this one. So that is one problem if you tear off the part. So that's why I guess for this case, I should close cut them before I iron them on. Sometimes my trying to save time kind of comes back to haunt me. Okay, here we go. So I made my own slight design. Okay. You use the glue stick for the heart quilt. Good for you. I think that's brilliant because you've got to sew it on anyway. And I can sew through glue pretty easily. All right. This heart, I think this is the biggest one. The biggest of the hearts. B and, oops. B and, oh, no, C. Let me see. This was the biggest. Okay, so the biggest is going to come down here below the halfway, the center of the, below the center of design, cross over into this just a touch. So this is pretty good, right like that. Now this has a neat thing. This has these little swirls on it, and I'm excited about this. So let me cut out these swirls. Now that I realize, cut it out before, because if I could still see the line, I would do the final cut with the same time I'm doing the fabric. That's what I used to do when I would make clothing, is I would rough cut the clothing pattern, put it on the fabric, as long as I could fit it in still the way it's supposed to, and then I would do the final cut all at once. All right, so that didn't take long, so that wasn't a problem. So now I'm going to put the swirls on this. And this is the nice dark fabric. I'm thinking this would be good for this one. So I have to peel off the top again. Okay, make sure the glue's stuck on the back. And then come pop this one up here. So I can't wait to show you. Oops, I'm going to do both at one time. I can't wait to show you the pictures. We got some really great photos. And you don't have to be a member of our group's IO to share your photos. Anything of your work that you'd like to share, and just send me an email at OurTimeToQuilt@twc.com. Okay. I also want to say Miss Carol is so patient. She does such a good job, and I think everyone enjoys her pups. And her pups hear her talking and hear her excitement, and they want to talk too. They are so cute. So, let's see. All right. So now I've got both. Whoops. Oh, this is a different one. Uh-oh. It's this. It's this one. I cut the wrong one. It's all right. They all have to be cut at some point anyway. Okay. I'm just going to do a few more minutes of this, so then we can go look at your wonderful photos. I'm so excited. Today it's turned out we were supposed to get some snow. Well, that didn't really work out. I was looking forward to it too. And then now it's already bright. So it's cooler today, but we didn't get any more snow. And you know, I start to worry because when you're in North Carolina and it gets to the end, starts getting later in the month, you're like, oh, pretty soon we're going to be past that. Unless we get a freak April snow, who knows? All right, so this one, I peel off the front of this one too. Yay, good. I love it. This is peeling so beautifully. Put this on the back here and iron it. And this pattern has these cute little flowers, and I definitely want to use the light pink for those. All right. And it's all going to be done. I'm not going to, even the cute little pretend stems of the flowers, it's all going to be red. And I think it will be so cute. And when I get ready to show you pictures, I will show you this done up in the professional example. So you'll get to see what it's supposed to look like. If you're really good and what it's supposed to look like, if you're better than me at following your directions. Okay, get this out of here. And now peel this off. And I can tell already what side this goes on. And here we go. So this one goes right here. Oops, come on. And then you can start to see how it was going to be embroidery because layered on top, you know. But I thought this will work really cute with the fabric. And before I iron these down, before I iron these in place, I will make sure that it's exactly the way I want it. And that's one thing I love about the Steam Machine 2 also is because you can move it around. And if you're not sure you like what you've got, then pull it up, move it around, stick it back down. All right. So now this will go over here. And this is supposed to go, see how it's so nice to be able to move it. Okay. Here we go. And I just think that is so cute. And make sure you move your papers away so you don't get confused with who is what. All right. So that is that. I think that, does this give you a good enough ideas? Those two pups are needy children. Yeah. I mean, my Grammy, I have to say, my Grammy is really good at just laying under the desk. But I get that little poodle down here sometimes. Oh, is Diane 57 still here? I wanted to ask how her poodle is doing. So just imagine that these are in nice red. And look at these cute things. It just looks so happy. And then, oops, these empty papers, throw the papers away. Then this one is going to come over here. And then you're going to have a flower spray here. And you're going to have one here. Okay. So now you can see how it's going to work. And then I will quilt this and turn it into a pillow. So a lot of fun. And you can, pardon me for that hiccup, you can see on this that it has the center X, center of design. So then what I do is I iron two different ways. See how I ironed it in half one way and half the other way. So I've got a center right there. So there we go. And I think it won't take me but maybe 25 minutes more. How is your puppy, Diane 57? I bet you, I hope the puppy's doing really well. So anyway, here is this. Let me show you one more time. This is the design. And then I'll make a nice little pillow. Oh, yeah, that is so neat. I was telling Mark about you. And then when you go to the website, it also has this. This is a bigger pattern. It has more going on. And I enlarged it so it wouldn't all fit on one page. But I will show you those. All right. So that's all good. And now, let me see. Well, what I'll do is point this back here again. Okay. All right. Let's look at your photos. Uh-oh. Mary doesn't want any more snow. That's cute. Oh, what happened to Kim's? Oh, honey, I'm glad it made you smile, but boy, isn't it hard to lose a baby? Gosh, the dogs, they are part of your heart. Okay, now, first I'm going to take you to my site because I'm going to show you these Valentines. Whoops, where is it? There it is. Okay, so this is the original heart that I based my pattern on. Okay, so you can kind of see how I got my ideas. Then here is a wonderful, I don't have this pattern, but I saw the picture, but this is, it's really, well, I guess it's a log cabin. And look at that. Isn't that awesome? But I love finding ideas. Oh, this is cool. And the reason I like this is because they did the trapunto. They used a very high loft batting and then did tight stitching, quilting, so that I Love You stands out. Also, these rings of heart stand out. Beautiful, beautiful job. Look at this. Is that the cutest? I love that one very much. But that one was going to take some figuring out. Isn't that precious? I love it. And if you don't live where you have the beautiful white birch, then take a limb and rub some white paint on it and make it look like that. You can make anything you see. Just you have to figure a way. Isn't that sweet? Oh, this is how I designed that new mandala swirl. This is how I designed it in EQ8. And to give the idea of how I wanted to do the 3 colors of, well, not 3 colors of everything, but pretty close to it. All right. And I will scan it in. It's going to be about 6 pages. Look at this. This is what I'm working on, but this is the bigger version. Has more flowers and it's just a bigger thing. Isn't that wonderful? I love it. And it's just happy. It makes you happy. Okay. Look at all of these different ideas. I love going on the internet. There are ideas for everyone. Look at these hearts that start with a 9 patch. How simple is that? And then you know how to make these. You take the rectangle and put little squares in the corner and sew and flip. So it's kind of a snowball effect, but it works. Isn't that wonderful? So all these ideas make me very happy. All right. And then, so here, what I did with this is I took a picture of Franz and I whited out everything, made it high contrast so you can see easily when you put it under the fabric, you can see how to trace it, because doing that by freehand, I thought might not be a good thing, at least for me. But if you're good enough that you can just put that quilt thing on your long arm and do your frond, then that's wonderful. I would go for it. All right, now, let me see. All right. Oh, here's another cute quilt. Is that so cute? And I love how they have some hollow hearts and solids, and then all the hearts together make a heart. Isn't that sweet? Valentine's is a fun day. We had an ice storm earlier in the week, and it was beautiful. But this is my Harry Lauder's walking stick. I brought a volunteer home from my daughter Katie's house and planted it, and it promptly died. And Mark kept wanting to pull up the dead stem. And I said, no, leave it, because, I was a gardener. I was a master gardener for years, and I have eternal hope And so for 2 years, he begged me to let him throw away yank out that stem. But guess what? After 2 years, it started back up. It put out some growth. And now it's lovely. And with the ice on it, oh, that's so exciting. I love it. All right. And another one and you can do so much. Get a vase and pop a couple of those empty branches. Beautiful. The name is Contorta, something Contorta. This is looking out from off my front porch, looking out towards the chicken coop, and you can see all the beautiful ice. It was amazing. But sadly, there it is again. It didn't last long, and we're lucky. No trees came down close by. But isn't that beautiful? All right. Here is the design I saw online, and I couldn't find a pattern or anything, but I just fell in love with this the moment I saw it. So this is my inspiration. I'm going to do a few things differently. I don't like too many of these. I don't know. This is just, I want it a little brighter, but I loved this. My eyeballs kind of bugged out when I saw this. So I said, okay, you can go on EQ8 and figure this out. So that is that. This is Mark. He is whistling to Finny. Finny is our cockatiel. And Finny, oh my gosh, he loves when you whistle with him. And, he just was right up to Mark. So cute. He's not affectionate, but he's very attached. So he's a sweetie. He's about 12 years old now. This is the Seafood Chowder. And oh boy, did we love. Whoops, hold on. I was cleaning off my lens. Okay. Well, hopefully it won't show up for y'all. How do I turn this off? Let me see. I hope no, okay, it's not showing. Or is it showing up? It is, isn't it? Whoops. Okay. So how do I? Aha, there we go. All right, let me go back. I am a huge fan of chowder recipes because I love dump soups. You just dump all the stuff in. So it was really yummy. And it made 3, then besides the dinner we had, we put in the freezer 3 quarts and 3 pints. So, because usually a quart and a pint will do a good dinner with a little bit left over for me and for lunch the next day. And then here is my version of that funny heart quilt. So you've already seen it behind me. All right, so I think that's it for me. So now let's go see. Now the fun part. I want to see your stuff. And here is Hoist, and Alexis is making good progress on Hoist. Isn't that awesome? Looks like it's on a piece of denim. She has really come so far in these last 2 years. I mean, the material she uses, it is just wonderful. So way to go. That is terrific. Let me see if I can get it any closer up, because it makes me wonder what is up here. It looks like beadwork, or are they zippers? That is awesome. Way to go. So I love it. I love it. Art is for everyone. And if it makes you happy and it does something to your psyche, and it just is wonderful. I love, love, love art. This is a beautiful sunflower birthday card that our bee over in England, since the COVID crisis, she's learned, well, I can't go buy birthday cards, so I'll make them. Isn't that amazing? I love it. And she's got wonderful French knots in the center of that. I love the stitching she does. Some things by hand, some things by machine. And so when you get a birthday card from B, it's also a work of art. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Okay, Miss Betty, she sent me a new photo. Okay, look, she's also doing the same project that Charlene Lawson and Jody are doing. Isn't that wonderful? And I love this applique trim that she's put around the vase. I love it. Oh, there's a butterfly. That's where she did her metallic painting. Ah, look at this. So she has done some fabric and some painting. And you know, Miss Betty was the one that got me all excited about using these metallic paints. Here is her beautiful Alex Anderson hand embroidery challenge. Oh, I love it. And look at this beautiful scallop work. I can't imagine how to begin that. Beautiful. Oh, look at all these little beautiful little, look like rosebuds. Way to go, Miss Betty. Ah, now we see where she used the metallic paint and the fabric. I love it. See, you can make everything, put your special touch on it. And to me, that makes it all the more special. Here's Miss Carol. Don't forget, every Saturday morning, Miss Carol is teaching you how to do embellished journal, diary, pages, scrolls, all kinds. And I love, she just uses so many creative ideas. Boy, that's a brain I would love to see the inside of. Her head is full of all kinds of wonderful, magical ideas. And here is her Alex Anderson. And look, hers look pretty straight and amazing. So one day when I'm grown, I want to do work like Betty and like Carol. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, this one is fascinating. Gosh, great work. And she, you know, she never sleeps because I don't know how she does it all. That's amazing. Beautiful. Must be very organized. And here is part of what she's teaching. And she takes this tree in this scroll design and brings it to life. Step by step, she will teach you that. So go check out, I'm hoping she'll write the website address again. Go check out her YouTubes, and they're there for you. You can rewind them as much as you want. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And I found the secret to making it look truly covered in snow. And if you want to know that secret, you'll have to ask her or go watch her YouTube. But this acts like a diary or journal for her. And I think that's fabulous. Okay, there's Charlene Lawson. Oh, here's another one. Look at her wonderful work. I love it. Love, love, love it. I love her variegated threads too. Then she got a quilt ready to go to the long arm quilter. I love those colors. Nice, fresh Granny Smith apple green and lavender. Woo! Pretty, pretty. Ah, look at this. She's got her Alex Anderson piece on a frame. Very good. And look, she did a really good job of keeping that circular, where mine went a little wonky. Ah, beautiful, beautiful. Look at this. Oh, that is so nice. So nice. So they must be participating in a sew-along. I've probably been told which one it is, but I've forgotten. I'm sorry. Now, you ready? Miss Charlene Piper sent in some great great photos this week. Look at this. Isn't that wonderful? I love the sky, the sailboat, the lighthouse. Oh, it's just lovely. It's serene, but has an exciting sunset. And then look at this one. This is awesome. Oh, Howling at the Moon. Oh, look at this landscape. Beautiful mountain lake landscape. And see where she used fabric that was reminiscent of pines, but the way she placed them, very effective. Oh, look at this. This is great too. I don't know if she has as much fun as I do, but I absolutely love. To me, this is just pure joy. It's pure playtime. Ooh, very nice job with the snow scene. Very, very nice. I love the way she put the fabric on the pines. Oh, beautiful, hon. Oh, isn't this stained glass quilt beautiful? And boy, the stained glass and purple, they go together so beautifully. Beautiful. Oh, here we go. She's got one of the attic windows where you take the panel and cut it apart, and it's, oh, beautiful. Way to go. Good job on the attic windows. And see, they've got the Y seam in them, so good job. The dreaded Y seam, which aren't that bad if you just take a deep breath and do it slowly. Look at this. Look at that sunset. I love the layering of fabrics. Beautiful, beautiful. And she also loves to make clothing for her grandchildren. Look at this beautiful little granddaughter. Isn't that wonderful? So thank you, Charlene Piper. That's fantastic. Was there something else? Let me see. One more thing. Let me see. Oh, here's where it is. Oh, now I know where I lost it. Okay. Close current tab. Close. Okay. Let me bring this back and put it in the main box. This weekend, the last few days, I've been trying to get my folders sorted. Nope, I've already done mine. Okay. Let's see. Debbie Holt. Oh, got some good photos from Miss Debbie. Look at this. Oh, love, love, love it. I've always wanted to do one, have yet to do a Baltimore album type quilt. I love her red work. So cute. Love her stars. They practically sparkle. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I love the quilting on that album quilt. Love it. And this is her Christmas quilt that she has now quilted. Very good. Nice bunches of bubbles, circles. All right. Let's see what else. We have, yes, Diana Wright. I was so happy to get her email, and she included some pictures of her latest project. Looks like another Edita Sitar. Beautiful. I am really becoming a fan of Edita. She is so talented. Oh, in fact, I watched an Alex Anderson where she interviewed Claudia Feil from Germany, and it makes me think of my Nadine. Isn't this beautiful? She is the most talented quilter. Look at that. Wow. Look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? Way to go, Miss Diana. Keep them coming, hon. We adore your work and your photos. Miss Dolores sent in a new one, a couple new ones, 3 in fact, this week. So look at this. Isn't that wonderful? I love silhouettes, and it looks like she did a lot of confetti work, unless that was the fabric. Oh my gosh. We've been seeing Dolores pop in, so she must be close to finishing her period of healing. She broke her knee and has been out of commission. Altogether, it's going to be, I think, at least 3 months. Oh, beautiful eagle work. Let me turn it there. That's how it's laying in her living room so she can work on it. Absolutely beautiful. Then look at this. Isn't it wonderful? Garlic, shallots, and mushrooms. That is wonderful. Oh, look, she looks like she's got a little rosemary over here. Wonderful, wonderful work. Love it, Dolores. And then I think she's finished now. Finish this chameleon. And I'm going to enlarge him so you can see. The leaves, honest to goodness, look shiny. So she did a great job with use of color, texture. That chameleon is awesome. Way to go, Miss Dolores. Now we have Miss Jody, and she, I guess it was almost 2 weeks ago, lost power. Here is one of those trees that caused the problem. And then her beautiful work with the Alex Anderson and neutrals, and this block of the week, block of the month that she's been working on with some of the ladies. Look at this. Just gorgeous. And I love that everyone has their own fingerprint on their work. Just amazing. Well, Miss Kathy Boyd's been busy. She's just about finished with Lisa Capin's painted quilt block. Oh, I can't wait to see this come together. That's wonderful. And I bet you Kathy's had the best time doing it. Beautiful. And then here is an amazing quilt. It's a block of the week or block of the month. And oh my gosh, she told me, and now I'm trying to remember. Let me do one thing really quickly too. I was supposed to be, hold on just a moment. Here it is. Let me copy the hyperlink and see if I can come back and put it. Okay, let's see. I wanted to give you this link. Paste. There it is. This is the project. Well, let me just hit there. Yay. Okay, so I gave you the link. Oh, Jeannie is here. Yay. Hi, Miss Jeannie, darling. Okay, now go back to the photos. Oh, boy. I am hooked on Wordle. Have any of y'all? This is Gundren or something, the woman that she does this. Whoops. Deb, turn so they can see it. The woman that she does this block of the month or so along names her quilts. And I think this is Gundren or something. But isn't that fascinating? So way to go. Way to go, Miss Kathy. Okay, now let's see. Kim Hicks. All right, are you ready? I need a drum roll. Where's my son when I need him? This, remember that I did on January 1st, I did the Merry Mayhem mystery quilt. Well, guess what? Kim and her friends did it too. This is Miss Kim's wonderful quilt. And then, oh, poo. Let me see. Hold on a second. I put the names down. Hold on. Where is it? Is it this one? Yes. Hold on. Okay. Kim's, the purple one is Pam's. The blue one belongs to a different friend And then the multicolored one is made by Gay. Okay, so now we got that. Okay, so try to remember who belongs to who. Isn't that wonderful? Then look at this one, Love Boutiques. I think this this maker is remaining anonymous in case she decides to gift it to someone. Doesn't want to tip them off. And this is Gay's. And look at this wonderful layout she chose. Isn't that awesome? So I'm going to show you again. This is Miss Kim's. And I forgot the name I said that the purple one belongs to. Then look at this wonderful blue one. And Miss Gay's with the amazing layout. So thank you. I just got so excited when I opened that email to think that they were working on the same thing. What fun. Oh, and just to show Miss Linda McCollum, I keep her wonderful little felted mouse handy because he makes me smile. All right, who is next? We've got Miss Mary. Okay, and I kept this on because I love the flowers she did in this inner border. And I love, pay attention to this, because keyboard borders are pretty straightforward. But the quilting that she did on that piano key border, piano key, look how the movement, it's just amazing, the movement she got in that. So way to go, Miss Mary. All right, now let me see. Then here are her 190 blocks of the Farmer's Wife quilt. Woo! I get exhausted thinking about it. Here's her Christmas quilt. Excellent job. And I still have the pattern for this, for the Christmas block of the week. Anybody that wants one, just let me know. Here is the beautiful view from her back deck. And another shot of the entire Farmer's Wife quilt. Beautiful. All right, let's see now. We have Melanie. Melanie sent me these last week. They're just so happy. That got me thinking about what are we going to do for a spring quilt? I'm going to find some good ideas because that's lovely. All right. Then Michelle. Oh, I've got the cutest photo from Michelle, her grandson and his new puppy. Is that the sweetest? And she reminded me that she made this quilt back when she lived here in North Carolina, and I quilted it for her. But oh my gosh, I love this quilt. I love the blues and tans that were in it. But that's the power of a quilt. Isn't that beautiful? Is that the sweetest picture you ever saw? And that's why she went back to Rhode Island, because she had grandbabies. And you know what? I don't blame her one bit. Okay, Patricia's been busy in Nova Scotia, and she went to IKEA with her son and got some tables so that she could get all of her machines, everything had a place, because that's the key to keeping a room you use and like and are able to keep clean. You've got to have a place for everything. So great job. She now has a much better layout, and I think she'll enjoy this. Man, that's wonderful. So way to go. Way to go. I love it. Okay. And I had a really good chat with her yesterday during Jitsi. It was lovely. And then here is what Miss Polly has been taking in a class. I love these embellished works. They are fun. They loosen you up to just try things. This is gorgeous. Oh, and I love all the backgrounds, the music pages. It's just wonderful. So stay active, stay creative. It is good for the soul. And now I think Miss Polly was the last one. So, all right. Thank you so much for sending those in. It's my favorite part of the whole show is seeing all the things you do and being inspired. Every time I finish, let me turn this camera a little bit. Every time I finish doing the show and tell, I want to try some of it. So it is very inspirational. And I thank you, thank you, thank you. So feel free to send in photos of your life and work that you would like to share with us and send them to our, whoops, let me try it again. Put my glasses on, Deb. Not out. See, I needed my glasses. Our Time to Quilt at twc.com. Ah, Carol, beat me to it. That is one talented lady. One day I'm going to meet her in person. I tell you what, gosh, between her and Miss Susan, they just run circles around me, and I love it. Thank you. So, in fact, it was nice seeing Miss Susan yesterday and seeing Miss Bonnie. And we're always rooting for Miss Bonnie. She's got a cataract that she's going to have removed soon. And, but then, let's bring the light in. I think she's so anxious to be able to see better now. All right, let's see. You've been stuck in bed. Oh, honey, I'm sorry. Oh, I love reading all your chatting. And I make sure I try to go back during the week and recap when they put the chatting up. It's a lot of fun. So, Canada. Kim, I thought somehow you were in Washington State. Wow. I tell you what, if the election in 2024 doesn't go well, I'll be coming to Canada. I can't take any more of this. I want just calm, happy, nonpartisan life again. And the thought of what could happen scares me. So I will then be taking you up on it. Yes, I do love seeing everyone's work too. That is so nice. Well, let me see what time it is. Oh my goodness, it is time to say goodbye. I'm sad. Sometimes I'm tired, and when the end of the show comes, it's like, but then sometimes like now, it's like, I don't want to say goodbye, but it's time. So thank you, everyone, and take good care of yourself. And today's heart info. I think I gave you that today's heart. I think I typed, did I put in? Oh no, I don't see it. Oh, there it is. I gave you to find these sweet patterns. I gave you that link. And then if you want the pattern that I drew, just write me and I will email it to you. And I have it scanned in nice and easy to see. And I will scan in this Dahlia swirl pattern if anyone wants. And you can quilt it or you can paint it. But I love painting it. So I'm kind of thinking then, okay, we're moving along. I think I covered everything. So thank you so much. And, do something special. This Valentine's Day tomorrow, I challenge you to treat yourself. Give yourself a Valentine's gift because you are your own best sweetheart and you're your own best sweetheart, and do something just for you. In fact, I have figured out what I'm going to do today. I'm going to go get in the hammock And I'm going to spend the rest of the afternoon snuggled under a warm blanket watching some Britcoms. I now have Acorn and BritBox, so I'm going to enjoy the rest of the afternoon. You are so good. Thank you for all your reaching out. You give me such caring. Thank you, Patty, for the advice of sitting out in the sun. I really think it helps. You know, we tend to forget things, little things like that. So take good care of yourself. Thank you for my moderators. You're the best ever. And last weekend, Susan was so amazing. I mean, just boggles my mind. And all of you take good care of yourselves. Do something special just for you. And I'll see you Thursday and next Sunday too. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Have a great week.